Hi everybody, my name is Michael Russo. I work for the Edison Township Health Department in the Behavioral Health Division. Some of what we do is we try to help people that are struggling with substance use or mental health issues find resources in the community. So we have a bunch of brochures here of some resources that are in the community and in the county. We also give out Narcan as well, and we just try to help people out where need be.
Every year, approximately 200 law enforcement officers lose their life by their own hand, by suicide. We have, for the past several years, across the country, 1,200 law enforcement officers have lost their life. So we're coming together, we are uniting with the Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office, Mayor Sam Joshi, his staff, the Edison Police Department, and we're here to have awareness for suicide prevention.
The event has been one that's been long-standing. We have had a resiliency program for law enforcement for the last 3 years, and we've done different programs about resiliency. And this is the culmination of all those programs, and that under the leadership of Chief Brian from Edison, as well as Mayor Joshi, who's been very, very supportive of law enforcement. We thought we would do this walk today to bring public support and understand that although police officers deal with trauma every single day, that they also need the resilience and the help and the training to come back from traumatic events that they participate in, or they have witnessed, or in fact adjacent when they talk to victims, and victims have been traumatized. So this is a culmination to help officers and to have them come forward for help, and it's something that we're very, very proud of. Yeah, well, there is a variety of different topics of training, as well as, number one, most importantly, how to ask for help. What are the indicators that you should be asking for help? What kind of help is out there? And to destigmatize the asking for help, as well as, crisis intervention training. Those are all parts of the resiliency training.
So our law enforcement police officers do so much to serve our community, protect our community. It's important that we as a community be there for them as well. And that's why there's this resiliency, there's suicide awareness, and prevention to help our law enforcement officers in whatever way we can. This walk is specifically for them. It's designed for them to bring awareness that should someone need help, we're there for them as a community. We've seen throughout their career more than the average person, far more than the average person. So it makes sense that at some point during their career they would need help. And this is to break that stigma, bring awareness to that fact. And like I said, that's why we are there for them.
We have a mental health crisis in this country that does not just affect the public, but also affects law enforcement. I think here in Edison we have a unique perspective on it. The Chief has been extremely supportive over the years. Chief and I's history goes back 20 years, but particularly about 10 to 15 years ago when I was the PBA delegate, we started to see, this is before any kind of resiliency program was put into effect by the Attorney General's office, we started to see officers struggling with some mental health crisis, substance abuse disorders that might manifest themselves into disciplinary action. And we worked as a team to see if we could mitigate some of those issues officers are having, and it was very successful. We were able to get officers the treatment they needed. In 2020, the Attorney General's office started this resiliency program to get officers mental health treatment and put it to the forefront to have in everybody's view that hey, we might be having an issue with this. The Chief has unique experience, 40 years of law enforcement, but he's also a second-generation law enforcement officer. Myself, I come from a law enforcement family. My father and my uncles were all law enforcement officers. So I was able, and he was able to see the challenges the family faces at home as well. We brought in the Arrive Together program, which is a program that was started by the state of New Jersey in response to some of the high-profile law enforcement incidents over the country, George Floyd, Eric Gardner. And the goal of that was to get mental health professionals in the car with frontline responders so they could respond to mental health crisis with the goal to de-escalate and reduce officer-involved use of force and or officer-involved shootings. And I cannot speak for other agencies that use the Arrive Together program, but the Chief and the Mayor have embraced it. We have two excellent mental health screeners, Beth and Melissa from Rutgers APS, that ride in the vehicle with Sergeant Michkowski and Detective Nappy that respond to emergency calls or calls for service where someone who's struggling with mental health or having emotionally disturbed issues or maybe acting out. And what that has done is had us reduce the number of uses of forces, integrate mental health policing into the community, and to tie it completely in, those mental health screeners have assisted our officers. So Edison has taken a holistic approach to mental health, and it bleeds over even to the most junior police officer we have. They respond to every scene with that idea in mind, that this could be someone who's dealing with a mental health crisis, whether it's a domestic violence, a fight call, a DUI, and it has really reduced our negative interactions with the public and has put, like I said, mental health on the forefront, so our officers are more comfortable coming forward, just asking questions or having advice.
Thank you all for being here. It's a very, very important day. It's about suicide awareness for law enforcement. Over 200 law enforcement officers per year take their lives. Over the past several years, the number's been 1,200. We have a resiliency program that's been in place for a very long time here at Edison Township that Lieutenant Kenny started off. He basically pioneered that. We'll have him say a few words. We have partnered up the Edison Police Department with the Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office. We're very fortunate to have Prosecutor Ciccone here with us today. She's going to say a few words. But it's so important that we understand that through mental health that we provide the services that we need for all our officers and their families also. And you know, we have the support of Mayor Joshi and his staff. They have been outstanding. The mayor's leadership and willingness to help and be so supportive of law enforcement is probably the best I've ever seen in my entire career at the Edison Police Department. But what I'd like to do is call up Prosecutor Ciccone. We appreciate you being here, and we appreciate your support also. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. We're very lucky to have such a beautiful day to celebrate and to commemorate all our fellow officers and colleagues that have, in fact, suffered from depression, from mental health issues, as well as our community. I want to thank especially the Edison Police Department, the members of my office that are here, as well as University Behavioral Health, who's an important partner with the Edison Police Department in the absolutely revolutionary program of ARRIVE that we're very lucky to start here in Edison Township and really spread throughout Middlesex County. We in law enforcement recognize how important mental health is for the community and for ourselves, and we want to encourage anyone who feels that they need help to ask for help, and that's why we're here today, to bring awareness to that. I want to thank you all for being here today.
My name is Lieutenant Kenny. I want to thank everybody for coming, especially our partners here. We have the Edison Addiction Services, Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office, Rutgers Behavioral Health, the State PBA Peer Liaison Team, and Cop to Cop. Unfortunately, in this world, mental health crisis affects us all. We all deal with it personally, or have a family member, coworker that deals with it. This is an opportunity for us to raise awareness for officers and anybody in the first responder field to reach out if they are struggling. Unfortunately, a lot of times there's no overt warning signs until after the fact, but we do what we can here in Edison. We've had a supportive team. We have a relationship with the mayor's administration, particularly the health department, that the police department hasn't seen in pretty much ever. We work with the health department on various issues, and mental health is at the forefront. I would just encourage everybody to communicate with each other. That's the best way to identify if anybody's struggling with mental health. And we try to educate our younger officers. We try to engage with our current officers, and we try to keep contact with our retired officers. Coming from a law enforcement family, the chief is from a law enforcement family as well, we understand the struggles that affect the families in law enforcement as well. So we encourage anybody that is struggling or has any questions to reach out. The stigma has been definitely been decreased over the years. And one of our biggest, to the first responders out there, one of our biggest advocates, and I want to really tip the hat, is to Cop to Cop. Years ago, Cop to Cop was just perceived as a suicide hotline to call when you're, in crisis in the middle of the night. They have really expanded to be involved in all aspects of officer health and wellness. And I myself have communicated with Cop to Cop on many occasions. We've had them in for after-action briefings, and they've been instrumental. So please, 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 if you're going through anything, you know somebody's going through anything, please reach out, and we are there to help. Thank you again.
I'd like to call up our council president, please.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Council President Margot Harris. My day job for 46 years has been that of a licensed clinical social worker, so this program is very near and dear to my heart. And the Edison Police Department is second to none in terms of their partnership with Behavioral Health Services in trying to make sure that we keep our residents safe. The rate of suicide amongst police officers has escalated tremendously, and just witness there were 2 suicides amongst 2 of the Capitol Police officers on January 6th. And so trauma, there's a lot of trauma in doing this kind of work, and I think people don't understand that. People don't understand what goes into the job of being a public safety officer, being a police officer. So the things to look out for from the point of view of a friend or family member are obviously would be loss of appetite, isolation, giving away of possessions, and of course one of the biggest risk factors is if suicide has been attempted before. The good news is that we have so many different resources now to address this. We have the hotline 988. We have all of the behavioral health services here. We have our police officers with the Arrive Alive. Is that what it's called? Is it Arrive Together? Arrive Together. Sorry, Arrive Together program. And so we are totally on this. But I would, just as citizens, I would urge you, if you are a friend or family member of someone where you are seeing these kinds of signs, to reach out to them and talk to them and get them the help that they need. As I said, there are lots of resources out there for them. So in conclusion, I just want to thank our public safety officials here. This police department, our firefighters, we have the best public safety department in the state, possibly in the country, and I don't think I'm overstating it. So I thank you for doing what you're doing, and I'm so glad we have a beautiful day to have this event, and I thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Sergeant Matthew Michkowski. I'm with the Edison Police Department. I'm in charge of the Arrive Together team, along with my partner, Detective Steve Nappy. A little bit about Arrive. A few years ago when it was implemented, just like other police officers, I'm like, nah, no way this works. And then I went to my first job with Beth Rodriguez, who's directly behind me. And I saw her de-escalate a situation, and I go, okay, you got lucky. And after that, it happened again, and then it happened again. And then I started buying into it. And that's when I realized is I don't know everything as a police officer. I'm thrown into many different situations out there, just like other officers, and we don't know everything. We are not experts. But my 2 partners, Beth and Melissa, are. It would be foolish for me not to go to mental health call, having to not only beyond smart people, but great resources. So in Edison, we've been lucky to integrate it into just about every one of our units moving forward. So they're able to give officers resources. We're able to give people resources. It's about getting people the help they need. And every single call we go out there, we all have one mission, and that is to get that person, whether it's APS, or whether it's a therapy session, or whatever they need, is to get them to the correct resource. Before, when I first got onto this job, it was obviously get the person into the ambulance and get them to the hospital. Having this direct resource is all about de-escalation techniques. All throughout the course of the last few years, everyone on the news will be able to see all the different different situations and whatnot. We've gotten to a few in Edison, but being able to have the Arrive Together team and having Beth and Melissa is a game changer. We're able to get critical information to de-escalate the situation while doing hostage negotiation techniques out there in order to get the person out. A, number one, we don't want to use of force, but B, get them out safely and clearly get them to the help they need. So just a little overview. I could talk all day about it, and if anyone wants to talk offline, I'd love to. But that's what we're here for. We've had nothing but support from the Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office, our chief, and everybody else involved. Maybe I'm a little biased here. I think we have the best department in the entire country. And the reason why is the chief and everybody else, they listen to the officers and what we need as far as Arrive for not only ourselves to get support, but the people out there too. So I'm incredibly honored to be a part of this unit, and I'm looking forward to where we're going moving forward. Thank you.
Anybody else? Right, I just want to recognize our PBA president, Mike Piperato's here also. Let's have a hand for Mike. He's been very supportive for our officers and for the administration. We're going to get ready to do our walk now. We're looking forward to it. Actually, Prosecutor Ciccone had actually challenged me to a race for 2 laps. So she's got her running sneakers on. I hear she's a beast, right? It's awesome.
Thank you. Every woman wants to be called a beast. Thank you.
But that's in a good way, in a very lovingly way.
Where are you going?
I'll let her win, don't worry. So, but I want to recognize Matt Bakarian. Matt Bakarian is here. He's a retired officer, a lieutenant from our police department. I've known he and his family forever. His dad, Angelo Bakarian, passed away recently. He was a deputy chief here and a very good friend of mine too as a young patrol officer being hired here. I was always very close with Angelo, worked him for a good many years. And tragically, Brett Bakarian was also a retired officer here. That's Angelo's son and Matt's brother. Unfortunately passed away recently, by his own hand with suicide too. And it's just so devastating because it's, through the training that we've all undertaken, and I used to teach suicide prevention to the state police when I was in internal affairs years ago, to police academies and to Chiefs Association. And it said the person is in such a dark place that nobody can understand exactly where that place is. And it's not that they want to end their life, they just want the pain to go away. We've made great strides since then, but again, it's so tragic what happened to Brett. I mean, I can go on and on. PJ Jankovic many years ago was a police officer here, took his own life. We had a police director here 15 years back, Brian Collier, and it's true what was said about if there's someone in the family or even the distant family that commits suicide, the chances are very high that someone else in that family will do that. And in Brian Collier's situation, his daughter Michelle was in Virginia Tech and took her own life. And it was just tragic for the whole family to see what had happened. But it's important that we are there, as Lieutenant Kenny stated. If you see something, say something. Let us know, let the administration know, let anybody know so we can get people the help that they need so there is no tragic outcome that we have seen in the past here. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody for being involved here and coming here today. And we want to get it on because, again, I want to go head-to-head with the prosecutor here. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it so much.
Speak a little bit about what are some signs to look for, because there are resources out there for everybody. They are available, but some of the signs to look for, obviously any signs of depression, loss of appetite, giving things away, giving possessions away, isolating, and so on and so forth. And so if you see this, then if you're a friend or a family member, please reach out to that person and urge them to get help. And the suicide prevention number is 988 if there is an immediate crisis. But I cannot stress enough how important this is to recognize the symptoms.